Hello, my star seed children. This is Tanisha from Tanisha Tantrika and Tarot, and I am here with your full moon and Scorpio reading. This is a pick a card reading, so it is a general reading, and I am really excited about this Scorpio moon. So just a little bit of background on what's happening with this moon. This moon is in Scorpio in Vedic and in Western this time around. It hits its peak on May 18th at 10:11 p.m. in London time, or 9:11 p.m. UTC time, which I think is it's Greenwich, the Greenwich. It's the regular universal time zone, which is the Greenwich fault line, or the Greenwich line, if you call it. I think that's over Iceland, if I'm not mistaken. And so that's at 9:11 p.m. on May 18th, which is Saturday today when you're watching this. It is in the sign of Scorpio, like I said. The degrees that it's in is 3 degrees 31 seconds. It is in, and of course, I do Vedic astrology, people, not Western. So it's in the Anuradha Nakshatra, and Anuradha is known as the disciple of the divine spark. So this is going to be an amazing, illuminating full moon. Okay, the nakshatra is ruled by Saturn. And so that already tells you this is about discipline, this is about boundaries, but I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to explain everything to you. The deity that rules this nakshatra, the deity, let me go back. The nakshatra ruler is Saturn, which for those of you who are into the divine feminine, Saturn and Kali are very similar, or basically the same deity. For whatever reason, in Western, the deity of the destroyer and creator, or the deity of time, or the absence of time, is masculine, but in Hindu mythology, it's feminine, and it's Shakti. It's Kali, Shakti, whatever you want to call it. Okay, the nakshatra deity Mitra is in its antiquities. He was known as the upholder of treaties and contracts. He is known as the truth and order deity, or the principle of truth and order, and he is responsible for friendships and partnerships and promoting cooperation and harmony. The nakshatra number is 17. As we know, 1 plus 7 is 8, but the 17 number for the angel number is for the angels are saying to you, or sending you the message during this time period, that you are on the right path, that you're making the right choice, which is really interesting, because the lucky number for this nakshatra is the number 8, which represents wholeness and infinity, and it brings clarity and decisive decision making. So this is someone who's a powerful decision maker. The number 8 represents a powerful decision maker. So if the number 17 is telling you you're on the right path, it's most likely you are making very powerful decisions based on being clear with your intentions. So this is a decisive decision-making number with the intent of bringing or creating harmony and balance between both material and immaterial worlds. 8 is the karmic equalizer, like Saturn or Kali. They are the destroyer and creator, which regulates the cycles of life, death, and rebirth. This also is the number of practical realism in spiritual matters, and in the material plane, it creates or it is responsible, or it's determined to create or achieve results. It perseveres and is disciplined in achieving goals, and it must balance its ego to remain democratic and not tyrannical or aggressive. So with that going forward, that's just a little bit of background about what what is happening in this plane of existence for this moon, based on where it is in the chart. So people who are born under this powerful moon, are going to probably be some of the in the future, some of our greatest greatest politicians, leaders, businessmen and women. Some may even be spiritual leaders, but spiritual leaders in the sense of bringing spirituality to the mundane world, as in making it more practical to live by. I also think my candle keeps blowing out. That's driving me nuts. Sorry. So this is a very long introduction, by the way. Sorry about that. So what to expect during this full moon? So one of the big things to expect during this full moon is, as I said, Anuradha is ruled by Saturn. So this period of time is going to be marked by creating and maintaining healthy boundaries and relationships and partnerships. And if you notice, the word healthy has the word heal in it. And so when you have healthy boundaries, that means, I truly believe that it means that you have fully integrated yourself, or in some terms it means that you have healed most aspects of yourself. I personally don't believe in spiritual healing, because even in physical healing, when you heal, when they say you heal, things are not the same. The purpose of the idea of healing is that you bring something back to its original space, but you don't. There's no such thing as that. So I just believe in integration. But anyway, this is about having healthy boundaries and relationships and partnerships. And like I said, Mitra is the deity associated with Anuradha. And so this will be a great time for reevaluating or renegotiating contracts to make sure all parties are receiving a fair shake, or a win-win situation. With the sun opposing the moon, it will illuminate any shadowy dealings or hidden loopholes. So make sure you are negotiating. When you are negotiating, you are clear about your intentions and desires, because moon opposite sun can also bring conflict between what your soul wants versus what your mind wants. Lean on the Saturn and the number 8 energy to find balance between the two places of your soul and your heart. If you are creating a partnership, get it in writing. Get everything in writing, and be precise about the terms. As the sun burns up Mercury, because it's within a little bit over 2.5 degrees conjunction. So the sun, that means Mercury is combust under the sun. And so this can bring fraught communications. So make sure you get everything in writing, and be really precise about what you want during this time period in these contracts. Okay. Remember, this period or this moon is ushering in harmony and balance, not only with others, but with yourself, and use this time to deepen and find practicality with your spiritual practices and finding balance within yourself. Okay, so that is all I have to say about this full moon. I'll probably speak about that again on my YouTube channel. I'm sorry, on my IGTV or Instagram, so that everyone can have an understanding of what's going on. And with that being said, this is a pick a card reading, and I'm so irritated because my candle is blown out again. This is a pick a card reading, and we have 4 sets here. We have number 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'm gonna go ahead and put some stones on it just in case you don't like to use the numbers. So we have labradorite, we have the serpentine stone here, we have Himalaya salt here, and then we have pyrite on number 4. So go ahead and take the time, pause the video, and choose intuitively which pile you want. Okay, for those who chose pile number 1 with the labradorite, okay, pile number 1, let's see what we have here. Number 1. Okay. Interesting. So first, what I see here. One, I see a lot of celebration going on for pile number 1, with you feeling connected to your community in a way, so that the community connection, you're celebrating each other, you are sharing with each other, and you're finding harmony in your friendships and your community setting. I also feel that, because I'm seeing this Lover's card with the 3 of Cups as well, is that you may be finding your soulmate or your twin flame or whatever you want to call it within your community of people. And because there's such a happy harmony in your community, then people are more likely going to want to introduce you to this person who is as you can see, the King of Wands energy, which I love it. So your twin flame, it's going to be a very passionate, man, not just passionate, but he's going to be intuitive as well. He's more likely going to be a businessman, and he will be very, very passionate and loving towards you. Okay, he is very secure in who he is. People would say he would be egoistic, but that's on the shadow of on the non-integrated side of his personality. But anything, he'll just be very, very confident in who he is. We also labeled this what we call the big dick energy. As you notice, he's like the only king in a deck. I kind of like the term God in the deck that sits one with his legs open, holding his wand. And sometimes he slouches a little bit on his throne, where he's just kind of like, I don't give a fuck what you think about me, I'm gonna be me, right? And this is going to bring about some beautiful, joyful happiness. And I can also see this Six of Cups as also just being your family life is very secure. Everyone in your family is happy. Now, for some of you, you may already be in a relationship, so I feel like this Lover card represents a reinvigoration of your relationship. There may be more passion, represented by the God of Wands, that's going to come in to your relationship. You're going to see each other in a different way. Maybe you guys have been fighting or disagreeing a lot with each other, and this to me represents a renewed love and connection with each other, a new relationship or friendship. Maybe your relationship is going to elevate, which will bring stability and happiness in your family. It will also bring happiness in your friendships, because you're no longer unhappy and your friends are not having to listen to you complain about your spouse. Okay, so so with that being said, let's keep it moving. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if some of you have a reconnection with your siblings, because these are two kids, or maybe your kids are starting to get along. Some of you may find yourself pregnant with twins during this time period as well. I also hear that in this whole reading as well. And then next, what we have is Anna, godmother of Jesus. So you're going to find yourself during this time period laying foundations that is in alignment with the divine plan that your soul has been set out. So I think I said that this is literally the moon in which you want to create the partnerships, the contracts, or reevaluate them, which is basically the foundation to any successful relationship or business venture, right? So you're going to be laying the foundations. You're going to be illuminating, I would even say, your soul purpose. For those of you who don't know what your soul purpose is yet, or you have an inkling, I have a feeling that it's going to be completely illuminated during this time period. You're going to have those zinging moments, those aha moments, where you're going to be very aware of who and what you're here for, which also represents the Lover's card to me. So that Lover's card could also mean some of you are going to fall in love with yourself, that you're going to become more passionate about your dreams, your purpose, your destiny, that you're going to become more passionate about yourself, which is going to create this experience of fulfillment within yourself. Some of you are going to heal. I'm going to say heal for the lack of a better term, but the word that I want to use is you're going to reinterpret your childhood. And with that reinterpretation of your childhood, it's going to also bring some joy and peace and happiness. For some of you, you're going to connect to your soul family here. All right. So that way you're creating the foundation for you to succeed in your dharma and your purpose in life. Okay. And then you have the beaver, which again is about family and laying foundations, and the swan, which is about spirituality and the mystic. So I see here with the beaver and the swan, many of you are going to be focused on the building you're going to be building a foundation. You're going to be working tirelessly to build a firm foundation in your relationships, in your business partnerships, in your business ventures, maybe in your career. But your family is going to be a focus during this full moon time period, because the beaver is all about being family oriented. Just don't lose sight of making sure that you are doing the things that you need to do for yourself, okay? The swan is the creative. It's beautiful. It's the mystic. It is the beautiful mystic. And so with the swan, it's all about tapping into your intuition, going into a more deeper space where you're connecting more to yourself, to your divineness, to your divine purpose, and learning what you need to learn, okay? You finally may find yourself a little bit sensitive also during this time period. So just be aware of that, and make sure you take a breath and respond to situations versus react to situations, okay? The next one is sovereignty, which I love, because that also tells me too that even to me, sovereignty represents you creating very strong boundaries, healthy boundaries in your relationships. It is possible that some of you may lose yourself in your relationships, because I see a lot in all of these in the tarot cards below. The first set was all about other people, and so for some of you, you may find yourself getting lost in your relationships, or you lose yourself in your relationships. And I believe that during this time period, you will find yourself literally reconnecting to yourself to the point where you're like, I need to create healthy boundaries in my relationship. I don't need to lose myself to prove that I love someone. Me loving myself is proof enough, okay? And then your last card is Move Forward, and that is from the Enchanted Oracle deck from the Enchanted one on YouTube. And this, I'm going to read what it says, the message that it says. It says, you've been reflecting for a while, possibly being a hermit in the process. The universe has been sending you signs through animals, numbers, and intuitive nudges. The sign the universe is sending you now is this card. It's time for you to head toward the light now. Positive visualization, a strong will, and above all, gratitude will raise your frequency and catapult you into a higher state of existence. In order to do so, you must first let go of the past. So I feel like, this also represents the past, this card here. So reinterpreting your childhood is probably best for you, which will also heal all your other relationships, because maybe you have fraught relationships because of some pain that you're carrying from your past, okay? It says, it's time for you to head toward the light now. Positive visualization, a strong will, and above all, gratitude will raise your frequency and catapult you into a higher state of existence. In order to do so, you must first let go of the past. It's time for you to leap onto your new positive reality. Start by making the conscious decision to do so. Then take the proper action with a grateful heart and positive thought patterns, okay? So this is very important, because gratitude seems to be key here with you, finding the joy or the gratitude, even if your childhood was not ideal, or if it wasn't perfect, or it was really rough. Finding the gratitude, one, that you made it through it, okay, that you got through it. And if you really take a good look, you may find that there were angels sent along the time that help ease your pain from time to time, even though it was painful, okay? So this is your opportunity to reinterpret your past so that your present and your future is much brighter. So pile one, I hope this resonated with you. Please leave a comment. And if you would like a personal reading with me, you can go to my website at www.tanishamccrae.com for that personal reading. Okay, those who picked pile number 2 with the serpentine. What do you call this stone? I don't know what the stone is called, by the way, guys, so I do apologize. I still haven't found out the name of it. Okay, so for pile number 2, what we got here? Oop. Pile number 2. We have the 2 of Pentacles, the 8 of Cups. Wow, it seems like everyone is about their relationship with others, but mostly themselves. Pile number 2, it seems like Your cards are all about your relationship with yourself. Okay, so pile number 2, what I see here with the Two of Pentacles is that you've been feeling as if you've been juggling something, whether it's your finances, whether it's your relationships. With the Pentacles, it's usually your material wealth, but I have a feeling that this has to do with maybe a job. Maybe you've been working really, really hard at a job, and yet you're not reaping any rewards from that work. Or maybe you feel like you've been working really hard at a relationship and there hasn't been any progress or reward for you. It's like you're the one that's giving and not receiving. So there's this balancing act that you are finding yourself playing here, okay? And balancing doesn't always mean negative. It just means it's a lot of work. But I just feel like maybe perhaps in this case you're feeling like it's a lot of work and it's not worth the juggle, because the next I see you leaving said situation during this time period. You've built it, it's strong, it's sturdy, but you're not satisfied. It's not creating the love and the joy that you were expecting, or maybe there was a lot of love there, but you're not feeling fulfilled in some sort of way, and so you have made the choice to walk away from something. It could be the same situation or a different situation, but whatever it is that whatever the situation was, it was causing some stress for you. Whether it was physical stress or internalized stress. Okay, and on the surface, with the Eight of Cups, on the surface, it looks like everything is great, but within yourself, there was some discomfort, dissatisfaction. So you decide to pack up and leave. And you decided to pack up and leave and start your own journey of self-discovery. I always look at the Daughter of Wands as another, like a lower vibration. And I'll explain what I mean by lower vibration, but a lower vibration of the Fool card. To me, the Daughter of Wands is, aka the Page of Wands, is like it's like a temporary state of the Fool. Whereas the Fool is more like a long-term situation. This is more like a temporary state. So, it's less than a year, I would say, where you are starting on this journey of self-discovery, where you're trying to discover or find out or master what your passions are, what drives you in life, what makes you happy, what brings fulfillment for you in this lifetime, and pursue it, create it, master it, whatever the case may be. And I feel like, too, one of the other things that you will be working on as well is, because this is like the Knight of Cups, which, the Knight is also about movement as well. This is like the Knight of Cups, the Son of Cups, right? Is, maybe it's moving to a place that's near the water. I can see some of you moving to a place that's near the water because the water makes you happy. Maybe you're going to take a retreat. Maybe you're going to go on a vacation near water, a body of water. But also I find that maybe the other thing that you're going to learn to do here is learn to balance your emotional state, your spiritual state, along with your material state. Because remember, the Cups is all about spirituality. It's about emotions. It's about love. Some of you may end up getting an offering of love from someone that is a very integrated person. Maybe they're a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But I feel like this is more about you, because all of these cards are just one person in the cards, okay? So I feel like the Son of Cups is more about you, finally dropping into the well of your soul and connecting to who you truly are. This is what this journey is about. So you have two cards where you're walking towards something in this pile, and that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing, and it could be this probably looks more like, maybe this looks like this. But I really like the way this is, because it's kind of like, for some of you, I'm hearing that you're going to be walking away from a not so great relationships. And while you are on this path of self-discovery, you're walking towards a happy, more joyous, more emotionally fulfilling relationship. Okay, here. So you know who you are. Okay, the next card is Don't Dim to Fit In. And with seeing this card, how are you dimming your light in order to fit in? I feel like what's happening in this situation. Okay, I'm gonna pull this back, guys. Hopefully you can see. What I feel that is happening is what you've been balancing is maybe you felt in your relationship this need to dim your light so that people wouldn't be jealous, or maybe your partner wouldn't be jealous, or maybe your partner was, you didn't want your partner to feel less than, and balancing your true self with the person you think you needed to be in your relationship was what was taxing you, and that's why you walked away. And so this whole journey, if you notice with the daughter of wands, the sun is shining behind her. It's like your determination to be who you truly are instead of hiding who you are in order to fit in or to make people feel comfortable around you. And I feel like this card also represents the Son of Cups. In that case, in the concept of in the light of that scenario, that the Son of Cups is you becoming very comfortable with yourself, okay? Where you don't really care about how uncomfortable people feel. That's not your problem. That's their problem, right? And then you have the Fire Ants and the Phoenix, which I love, okay? So the Fire Ant is all about excuse me, my back is hurting. The Fire Ant is all about working towards a common goal, but it can also be like resentment. It can represent aggression. It can represent like really stubborn or rigid thinking, and this could be you, or this could be the person you were dealing with in this situation, where they were just really like rigid and stubborn, and they didn't want to budge, they didn't want to bend, they didn't want to be flexible with you, and you were doing all the flexing, which again goes back to the Two of Pentacles of you feeling like you were doing all the work, or trying to balance out your needs with their needs, and they weren't willing to do the same. Okay, and so the Fire Ant also represents this energy within ourselves, this content energy within ourselves that causes us to be attracted to toxic relationships, okay, or a relationship that doesn't align with our purpose and our dharma, right? Which is why you're needing to break free, okay? So this is like you choosing, and I find it interesting that it felt under you walking away in the Eight of Cups. This is like you choosing your dharma versus drama in your life, and so you're letting go all the drama in your life, so that you don't burn yourself out, okay, or become aggressive because you're unhappy. All right. And what I love about the Phoenix card basically reiterates the Fire Ant card, because it's basically, because I feel like for you, group 2, this whole being in these toxic relationships where you are basically ignoring the things that you want and acting as if you don't matter is a karmic cycle for you. And the Phoenix represents you literally finally breaking free. You're like, you've got the freaking lesson, and you are breaking free from this karmic cycle that you've been in for possibly multiple lifetimes, okay? And so the Phoenix comes in, and it's basically burning away the impurities, or burning away the fictions, the illusions that you have created that causes you to choose these relationships over and over and over again, or these situations over and over again. Because work is also a relationship, guys. This is not just about friendships. This is not just about love relationships. Work is also a relational situation, okay? So it's a relationship too, and where you're not you keep picking these situations where you are not appreciated. And so this is you learning that lesson and finally walking away in a way not in anger, but in a way of love and honoring yourself, represented there by the Page of Wands, okay? And then I want to read this little piece from the Phoenix. It says, the ancient yogis believe that our heaviest karma reside in the first chakra. This earthen center is also called Muladhara, or our root. The ascent of the Phoenix begins here, and as the entanglement of karmas is slowly burned, it rises from the ash toward the navel center, Again and again, it makes this journey from first to third chakra. By the way, the third chakra represents our courage, okay? Our courage is the third chakra. And purifying our essence, freeing us from the past, okay? So again, this is you breaking some sort of karmic loop that you've been in. And I love this because the void, look at this. So you're getting the same message. The void represents releasing, okay? The void represents releasing or letting go. And so I feel like you've come to the, oh my God, I'm sorry, I just saw the last card, I'm tripping. This is you letting go of things that no longer serves you in this life. And then step away is your last card. So again, this is like you getting the same message about leaving something that is no longer in alignment, or that has never been in alignment with your full purpose. And it says it's time to step away from technology for a while. This includes social media, TV, and the news. Your spirit is longing to spend more time in nature and to connect to Mother Earth with your bare feet. Go outside to a natural place with lots of trees and have an adventure. Step out today and feel the warm sun touch your skin and your soul. So I mean, she's talking about social media and stuff, but we all know social media can be a toxic place. But I also believe stepping away means to really like step away from things that are draining you or not in alignment with who you are in your essence. Okay, so and just reconnect with yourself, with your divine. When we connect to the earth, it's like a reconnecting not only to our physical or human or finite experience, but we're reconnected to our infinite experience, our soul. And so I feel like for you, number 2, that it is time for you to walk away from situations, relationships, jobs, whatever the case may be, that are not in alignment with who you are, that does not fulfill you in any way, and does not, there's no balance in the situation, okay? So this full moon will give you the courage to do that, to break this karmic cycle. So group 2, I hope this resonated with you. Please leave a comment down below and let me know if it did. And if you want a personal reading, you can go to my website at www.tanishamccrae.com to sign up for a personal or book a personal reading. Okay, thanks. All right, loves. For those of you who pick pile number 3, the Himalayan salt. Yes. Okay. Let's see what's happening for you during this Scorpio full moon. So let's see what we have here. We have 4 Pentacles. The Hermit. Oh, look at us. We're getting to a place here. Ooh, the High Priestess. Okay. And the Emperor. I love this. Wow. Okay, so there's a couple of things I'm seeing here. One of the things that I'm seeing with the Hermit and the High Priestess is someone who is on a journey, a spiritual journey. So this full moon will represent you starting the process of going on your spiritual awakening or your spiritual journey of self-discovery, where you learn, what I love about this card is you learn that you don't carry a light, but that you are the light, that you are the message. And you come out, when you, as a hermit, when you go into like the cave of darkness, where you're trying to rediscover yourself, or rediscover or relearn spiritual truths, or learn spiritual truths, you come out literally owning your divinity. And then the High Priestess is a full-on representation of someone who fully embodies the divine feminine, who fully embodies their spiritual divine selves, and they understand their connection to the infinite consciousness. And it's very interesting that those two things are sandwiched by material things, okay? So the first one is the 4 of Pentacles, and this, to me, the 4 of Pentacles represents someone who sometimes suffer from poverty consciousness. That's also the Five of Pentacles to me as well. But the Four of Pentacles is like, it can mean two things. It can mean that you're being very cautious, or you're being very frugal or responsible around your money and how you spend it, so that you're not overspending. But for some of you, it represents someone who is so afraid of spending any money. They're super tight with their money. And the universe is saying to you, it's time for you to stop being afraid, because anything that you need, I will provide it for you. Now, so some of you are wanting to start a spiritual journey, but you are afraid of not having the finances that you need to do it. Or perhaps you are afraid that you'll be broke, because some people just believe that if you're going to be a spiritual person, you're supposed to be broke, which is not true. In most religious or spiritual practices, spiritual wealth and material wealth go hand in hand. Okay, so with this card, it's like this fear of walking towards what you really want to know, which is to learn. For some of you, you want to study, but you feel like you don't have the finances, or maybe you're going back to look at your finances to see if you have the money in order to start the spiritual journey, okay? And this can mean that maybe you want to go learn Tantra, or you want to go study yoga, or maybe you want to go to Bible college or seminary school. Maybe you want to just go study some esoteric things. Maybe you want to do some shamanistic work. You want to learn how to be a shaman, or whatever the case may be. Maybe you want to go to a spiritual conference, but you want to make sure that you can provide that for you. And so I always say commit to the goal and not to the action steps. So commit to the goal, and then as you walk towards the goal, things will open up for you to find the income that you need, or you'll create the income that you need in order to make this happen for you. Because at the end of all of this, this could be a man that's coming towards you, or a woman with this energy that's coming towards you. But I think what this means is when you really tap into your spiritual self and your spirituality, or whatever, and you really connect to it, then all the material stuff that you need, you will be able to create and manifest. Because the masculine is about manifestation, the feminine is about creating. Okay, so you'll be able to manifest what you need in order to fulfill your purpose in this lifetime. So don't be concerned. Basically, the message here is don't be concerned about your money. That doesn't mean be reckless and irresponsible. It just means don't be afraid to make some choices, especially when they're in alignment with what you feel like your soul is calling you to do. Okay, and so you got two of these cards, and it's really crazy because look at that. I mean, talk about being in alignment with everything. So this one says your inner temple. So I feel like this group is a very spiritual group. So it's like the devotion. Tune into the portal of your heart. Okay, so I just feel like this is a very spiritual group, because then it says also trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? And the fact that inner temple came up as well, I just feel like what I'm seeing here is basically you being afraid, to invest in yourself, in your spiritual journey. And your universe is kind of like saying to you, no, trust your path. Because when you invest in your dharma or your purpose in life, then all the things that you need will be available to you. This is not you being frivolous. This is not you being irresponsible. This is you trusting your instinct and your soul, and listening to what your soul is telling you to do, and you moving forward. And there are rewards that come with that, okay? And then your next two cards, which I love, look at this. Panther and Horse. So the Panther is very interesting. The Panther is like the Tower card in the deck, because the Panther comes in, it pounces on you. It basically comes in to disrupt patterns that don't serve you, or patterns that keep you bound. And the Horse is all about living your life with freedom. So the panther comes to free you up, and the horse gives you the courage to run wild. Okay, and so I just feel like it's time for you. Some of you have been really stuck for so long because you have been conditioned to believe success or life should look a certain way. And I feel like in this time period during this full moon, you're going to get some realizations that everything that you've been taught is not meant for you. It's not the way you're supposed to live your life, and it's actually keeping you from really truly following your heart and your passion. And so the horse is coming to you to say to you, because the horse is an intuitive animal. If you notice, the moon is on its third eye. The horse is an intuitive animal, and the horse is coming to tell you to break free. The panther is coming to you and saying, I'm going to free you up. I'm going to shake everything loose, and it's going to be crazy, and you're going to feel like the whole world is crumbling around you, but it's for a higher purpose, because you are stuck and you need to be unstuck. And once the panther unsticks you, then you start to be wild and free like the horse wants you to be. Okay, I just think that is so beautiful that those two came out at the same time. And you got another message. Oh my God. You got another message, group 3, about the path. This is about trusting your path again. This message is about you trusting your path, trusting the path that you are on, believing and having faith that faith in yourself, that you know what you're supposed to do, because our souls are very, very intelligent. Our souls are infinite consciousness, so it knows what it wants. What happens is that we create these fictions and narratives and patterns that's based on cultural norms that causes us to ignore what our soul is telling us to do. And then we find ourselves in situations where we're so unhappy and we're tight and we're holding tight to things. And I feel like for you, Group 3, this is a message saying to you, break free from your conditionings. Break free from what your parents and your friends and your society have told you that you should be doing, at what age you are, what success looks like, and reinvent the wheel. Basically, reimagine what that looks like to you, okay? And follow your path. Be on your journey and stop stalling, stop hesitating, stop being afraid, and move forward. And then you get this beautiful card, Look Within. I almost feel like this is like the Inner Temple card. So let's read what that says. Look within. It says, you've been searching for the answers outside of yourself. This has brought you much confusion, powerlessness, and has clouded your intuition. Once you stop, look within, and reconnect with your intuition, you'll gain clarity and find the answers you seek. Because the Hermit, by the way, is the seeker card. That is the card about seeking the answers, seeking the spiritual answers. Some of you, it really means actually going on a physical journey to find those answers, to learn some spiritual path and truths, right? But for some of you, this is an actual going within yourself to seek and find those answers, okay? Only then will you truly be able to see the truth, find your way, and know peace. So your final card is basically reiterating everything that I just talked about here, okay? And once you find that inner peace, everything else, once you really tap into the immaterial, the material stuff, it creates, or it comes to you. So you don't have to be afraid that you'll lose everything because you decided to seek a spiritual understanding of the world or your existence, okay? That doesn't mean you don't work hard. That doesn't mean that you don't build it. It just means that it's going to take less, not less work, but less confusion. It's going to take less stress for you to build because you have found this inner peace within yourself, okay? So pile number 3, I hope this resonated with you. If you're wanting a personal reading from me, you can go to my website at www.tanishamccrae.com, and I would love to see you leave a comment down below and let me know if this resonated with you or if this was spot on for you. Okay, thank you. Okay, pile number 4. For those of you who chose pile number 4, the pyrite stone. Love the stone. Look how it twinkles. Yes. All right. So those who choose pile number 4, let's see what your message is. Okay. Ooh, Son of Swords. Which looks like a transgendered woman. I love these cards, guys. God of Cups. Six of Wands. And Son of Pentacles. I swear to God, every last group got some sort of financial thing that's happening here, which, I mean, is in alignment with what this full moon is about. It's about the material and immaterial worlds. So pile number 4. Let me take a look at this. I'm sorry, this is the 5 of Wands, not the 6 of Wands. Okay, so here's what I'm seeing here, pile number 4, is I feel like usually the 5 of Wands represents some sort of conflict, and it could be conflict with others or conflict with yourself, within yourself. Usually the Swords is more like conflict within yourself, so maybe you have found yourself in conflict with others, people telling you what to do or how you should be, which has caused some confusion for you. I also, this is very interesting, but I don't see this card necessarily as conflict, but as strength in some sort of way. But it is definitely conflict. So it's like fighting others for resources. Okay, so the conflict is about fighting others for resources, and it's very, very interesting that this comes up at the beginning, and then you have the Son of Swords, because I feel like what you needed to do was understand that you need to stop competing against others, because it's not necessary. Your gift is special. Your gift is I'm not saying you're more special than others. What I'm saying is you have a unique gift that is for you and you alone for this earth and this time. And there is no need for you to be fighting against someone else or fighting against others for resources, because everything that you need, you already have within you. And I feel like as you go along this month journey between the 2 moons, that you will find clarity about that you will get the clarity that you don't need to compete. You don't need to compete with yourself, and you don't need to compete with others. You don't need to prove yourself to yourself, and you don't need to prove yourself to others. And that who you are is who you are. And this is a very masculine group, by the way. Everything in this group is masculine. The sun, even though in the picture it looks like a woman, I think it's a trans. I need to really write Andrea and ask her about this, but I think it's a trans woman that also looks almost like she has an amputated leg. I can't tell, but it's very interesting. But it's just a very masculine group, because you have the God of Cups and the Son of Pentacles. And I just really believe, you got all of the elements. You got Wands, which is fire, Swords, which is air, Cups, which is water, and Pentacles, which is earth. And I just feel like what you're going to be discovering over this time period is you're going to find balance between all of those things. You're going to find balance with your passion. Instead of using your passion to fight with people, you're going to use your passion to propel you forward in life. Maybe you feel a need to fight or stand your ground. That's also what the Five of Swords represents as well, is standing your ground, okay? You may be feeling a need to stand your ground or to explain yourself or your position to others, which is causing conflict. And I feel like what you're going to learn over this time period is there's no need for you to do any of that. You're clear about what you want. You're determined to have what you want, and you know what it is that you've been put here for. So follow what your soul is telling you. You don't need to get validation or approval from anyone, okay? And I feel like the Son of Swords card represents someone who is just flying high and knows exactly what they want, and they are moving with clarity and the swiftness. Because if you remember, the sun is like the knight of swords, so that's usually the man on the back of the horse, and they're just driving really quickly forward. And that's because you are learning that when you have clarity, when you're not having to fight and defend, that you are clear and free to just move forward on your path, okay? And then I find with the God of Cups as well and the Son of Pentacles, you're going to also find balance in your emotions. You're going to connect with your intuition and your spirit self, or your divine soul self, versus always feeling a need to have your ego in place, or what we like to call your fictional self being forward. This is more like you are really operating from a place of love and contentment versus from a place of fear and scarcity. All right. And with the Son of Pentacles, I just believe that because you're now so clear and free with who you know you're meant to be and what you're supposed to do, you're just going to start moving forward and mastering whatever that is, okay? But I also think the Son of Pentacles represents someone who understands that there is abundance for everyone, and there's no need to fight or defend or stand your ground in any sort of way. You just have your eyes on the prize, and you are moving steadily forward, okay? And you're being consistent in this, okay? So let's keep moving. I want to get more clarity. Oh, so your next is Pleiades, and it says here, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. By the way, I can see this being that too with these two cards, because if you think about it, the Son of Pentacles represents the mundane earthly realm, and the God of Cups represents the more spiritual esoteric realm, okay? So it's like you've been sent here, group 4. You're like the Starseed babies, group 4. You've been sent here on a double mission. You've been sent here to channel the divine consciousness and bring that information down to this plane to help humans or humanity understand who they are and where they come from, okay? And so that's why there's no need for you to stand to defend yourself. People are not going to understand you, because it's almost like you are from a different planet, like quite literally, okay? And so they're not going to get what you're saying, and they're not your mission. Yes, humanity is your mission, but you'll know who your tribe is. You know who your message is for. But so you need to move forward, and I think that's what the Son of Swords is about too, is you understanding, oh, this is not the group that I'm supposed to bring the message to, so let me move forward, let me continue to tap in. I also feel like the Pleiades represents the God of Cups as well, because you're channeling from the infinite consciousness, and you're bringing that information down to this earthly realm, to this mundane realm, okay? And then your next one is Scorpion and the Bat, which is beautiful, because the Scorpion is about, I feel like it's about the 5 of Wands. The Scorpion is about being a fun person to be around. It's also about being passionate about your mission, or being passionate about what you're supposed to be doing here on this planet. But it also represents someone, if they get sidetracked, or if they take their eyes on the prize, that they start give me a second, I'm looking for they start to hold on to resentment, and so the fire begins to burn within them, and they're holding on to these resentments, or what they feel like was unfair treatment, which to me is also the 5 of Wands. And so this message comes to you to say, let it go. Let go of all that stuff. Use your passion instead of to fight others, but instead of using your passion to fight with others, use your passion to propel you forward on your mission, okay? The Bat is a beautiful card, because the Bat to me is also like the God of Cups. The Bat represents the energy, or the principle, or the understanding of seeing the hidden things, seeing the hidden realm, seeing things that are not that can't be seen even in the light of day, but that you're able to see in the darkest of nights, okay? This is you being able to see in the hidden places, seeing I will also say resources in hidden places as well. Instead of fighting people for the resources that everyone sees, now you are seeing where things are hidden and you're able to recover them, okay? But this also looks like, to me, is understanding hidden truths as well. So you discovering hidden truths because you are not willing to only see things from the position of where everyone else sees it, okay? So the bat basically is someone who can see through, like through your intuition, basically, okay? So it's a very intuitive animal. The unexpected, okay? So this is all about, the unexpected is basically all about you receiving things that you were not expecting to happen. So expect things to not be as you believe them to be, or to go the way you think they're going to go, but be open to how everything will process out, okay, or how things will show up for you, instead of being trying to control everything, by the way, which I think is the 5 of Wands as well, is trying to control, trying to control the outcome, or trying to control everything around you, versus just just letting go, okay, and being willing to just respond as things come, okay? This doesn't mean don't plan. It just means plan, but expect things to not always go as planned, okay? And so that to me is also the God of Cups. This is someone who is flexible, who goes with the flow, group 4. So I feel like you're supposed to be going with the flow. I feel like what you've been doing lately is pushing against the grain, or pushing or swimming upstream instead of being like a log and relaxed and floppy and just flow, okay? So just expect the unexpected. Plan things out. Do what you think you're supposed to do, but always be open to the journey or the road shifting a bit from what you thought it was going to go, okay? And I love this. Your last card is breaking through. Let me read what that says. I love that, because the dragonfly is always about breaking through illusions. Okay. So this says, Dragonfly spirit animal is here to aid you in breaking through any illusions preventing you from your next level of transformation. Yes! Which is what I was talking about with the Son of Swords. Getting over what you think it should be. Stop fighting people about what you think it is, and having clarity around who you are and moving forward, okay? And it says, what changes would you like to make? It's time to make the necessary changes now. This change must first start within your mind. Alter your mind, alter your actions, and ultimately alter your life. Okay? So, group 4, again, I'm back to stop trying to force people to see things the way you see them, and just move forward with clarity and understanding who you are. There's no need for you to prove yourself. There's no need for you to be aggressive about things. There's no need for you to create a fiction about who you are so people can respect or listen to you. You know what your message is. You know what you're supposed to do. You know what your mission is. Don't worry about whether people believe it or not, whether people accept it or not. There's no need for you to fight about it. Just move forward, okay? So group 4, I hope this reading resonated with you. If you want a personal reading, you can go to my website at www.tanishamccrae.com. Please leave a comment down below if this resonated with you. Thank you so much for visiting my channel. And for those of you who are already subscribed, thank you for subscribing and coming back. And for those of you, if this is your first time visiting, if you find that my readings resonate with you, please click the subscribe button. I would love to have you be a part of the family of this channel. And make sure you hit the notification button so that you can get notifications when I upload something new. But until then, I hope this is a blessed time for you all, for this full moon. Just be open to receive the most beautiful things that the universe has to offer you. Until the next reading, bye-bye.